Smite identity was always a fast-paced, high mechanical game, right? And that's where the competitive aspect was always about. And so when they took away the fast-paced, that would be okay for other games. Why not Smite? Why can't Smite be a late-game game? Well, Smite cannot be a late-game game for a couple of reasons. One, there's no scaling. You don't get any stronger past 30 minutes if you're farming efficiently, right? Two, you don't...
Smite what he's saying here is that Smite's late game ends at 30 minutes. In League and in other games, there's other macro to be scaling with when the game gets to 30 minutes, like dragons and stuff like that. Dragons, Baron, Elder Dragon. I don't know entirely how the grubs work in League now. I don't know Dota, but they're scaling in League beyond like full build.
As a artistic feature of fighting at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 5, level 7, level 10, not just level 20. If anything, level 20 is more boring to fight at in Smite than 1, 3, 7, 9, 10. The game had no flow. The game's flow was taken away in terms of when you could kill someone, when you couldn't, how you played the map. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you what it looks like when two supports hit each other in current Smite at mid camps at level 6.
I don't think JK's here.
So
now I feel
at level
bad.
6,
oh,
what items do you have usually in Smite? You'd have Thebes, right? You'd have a starter and Thebes, right? This all goes down to
busted ass Thebes.
And without stacks. We're going to do no stacks, right? So starter, war flag, very normal, and Thebes, right? No stacks, Thebes. I'm going to be level 6. So let me get to level 6 here. This is very important for you guys to understand why going to 9.5 is so good and so amazing for this game. This is two supports fighting at level 6 with the items they would have. Okay.
Wait, how long was that? Wait.
What you... So I'm right now. This is...
So it starts at 120.
Two supports fighting at level 6 with the items they would have. Okay.
That's a 40-second fight, and they both used ults.
What
See
you
who
just
won?
watched
You're him.
Is two level 6 supports hit each other for 30 seconds, right? If
40.
you watch that and you ask yourself, well, what's the problem with that? There's many. There is no flow. A support should be the easiest target to kill in an early game, right? So what do I mean by this? So
Smite support is not balanced like other game supports, which is an issue. And this is why I think supports are the actual best class in the game right now. One, their items are broken. Two, they get too much farm because of how many buffs have happened to Sentinels. Supports and Smites are basically solos that have peel. Supports in other games are like, they're just supports. Like, they're not like other gods.
I'm going to close Smite, and I'm going to show you what another game looks like and show you two supports fighting each other at level 6 with what items they would have at level 6. Just to give you guys an understanding of...
It's like watching two turtles fucking.
where the game was before and where the game is now. This is not just two supports hitting each other. Imagine a mid laner with one item hitting that support. You would never kill him. Smite needs to do nothing that Dota does. I'm just going to show you, for example, what two supports look like when they're fighting each other at level 6. Now, you've watched that last fight, right? Between me, Bacchus, and Ymir, right? All right, now watch. This is what you'd have. This is what you'd have at 6 minutes, right? As a support. Now let's fight each other. Do you see anything different between two supports hitting each other?
He just one-shot him? Wait, am I trolling?
Minutes, right? As a support.
Okay, so it's 24 seconds, does it?
Now let's fight each other.
Okay, so he jumped forward 5 seconds. So it took 5 seconds. Okay.
Do you see anything different between two supports hitting each other in Dota and two supports hitting each other in Smite? Okay, so what am I trying to say here?
I don't know why he edited it.
How did
usually you edit it to like get rid of just stuff that's not needed, but like he could have kept the 5 second fight in.
9.5 happen. So 9.5, what happened in 9.5 is they listened to the 5 or 10% player base that was dying in early game when they're out of position, and they tried to bandage fix these guys dying, which then led to
the rest of the video's
nobody
fire.
dying
It was just funny.
at all.
It really didn't matter that much.
And now people focus minion waves. Why would they focus minion waves? Well,
and this comes back to what Summit was saying when he started playing Smite. There is very little threat in the early game. Unless like there's a gank or you just absolutely misplay, you aren't dying. You aren't dying.
it takes less time and no effort to kill a minion wave that gives the same gold that a tank gives, right? So I don't want to confuse your brains with Dota. That is just another perspective. So let's continue to explain 9.5, right? Should tanks be one-shotting? Okay, this is Smite's perspective on support, right? Smite support has always been, oh, you have to be a tank, right? Why? The goal to support in Smite is to enable your carries. Is that not what support is, right? Support is to enable your carries, to stun front and tank for your team, right? So they completely choke what you can play in support and in Smite by
this what he's coming up to say is an issue with items in Smite. There is so much value in first items in support and protections and health than there is in other roles. There is no spike in the entire game even close to Thebes. Like, Thebes is just so OP. This year's Smite just came to a place of you can make as many mistakes as you want because very rarely can you punish someone.
Not only this, guys. Remember, what items are Smite 2 coming out with? A lot of active items. Some of them give good stats, but Blink, for example, only 100 or 200 HP or something, and some cooldown. The other activatable, 30 armor, and then you slow their attack speed. So this is going to be great because now supports won't have this 9.5 ridiculous time to kill. Absolutely ridiculous time to kill. So what needs to happen in 9.5 when they look at 9.5, right? And they're going to revert back to 9.5, right? They're going back to 9.5. What's going to happen? Snowball's going to go up, right? But the problem is killing someone will be much easier, right? So movement around the map is going to be more important. So macro and decision making becomes more valuable. Right now in Smite, you don't have to think about anything but when your camps are up and when your mid wave is meeting. That's what matters. That's all that matters in today's game. If the guy goes left mid camps, you go right mid camps. They go Gold Fury, you go Pyro. They go left tower, you go right tower. You invade blue, they invade purple. Now the question is, why? It's because no one can kill each other. But that will change with 9.5. So another thing is that's going to be very important in this new patch. Another thing we need to start looking at how much gold kills are giving. So people are going to say the snowball game is going to be too aggressive. But my counter to that, right? People are going to say if you increase the gold on kills, right? People's counter argument is going to say, hey, but this is going to be snowball-y. Now, my question to them is, why should Smite scale? If you don't scale as a god, why do you want to keep playing the game to continue buying 500 pots? Do you feel rewarding? Why do people stop farming in Smite? After 30 minutes, after 33 minutes, you stop farming, right? You don't care about map control anymore. You care about the next fight because the next fight is who wins the game, right? We still have comeback mechanics. Yes, we will. Which is actually really good, right? Why? So comeback mechanics without 9.5, right? Without 9.5, comeback mechanics are garbage. Why? Because nothing is happening to begin with. So if you bring a comeback mechanic into a really low competitive game, you're just doing nothing. Nothing's happening. And if you do win a good early game, just know it doesn't matter because they're going to come back.
That's a 20-minute ban. I guess we'll finish the Leon video and then we'll get back in the queue. Next patch, they are reverting the 9.5 increased TTK patch.
And scale again. So the actual comeback mechanics that they have right now, so 9.5, so let's think about things that have happened after 9.5. So there's going to be a lot of things to counter snowball. Snowball. And what are these things, right? What are these things that are going to counter the snowball? So in season 9, when snowball was really aggressive and they did this, right? And they did this 9.5 change to increase health, it just made it where it was only 3 or 4 kills per SPL game. Now 9.5 we're reverting back to 9.5 with a lot of things added that are going to help counter snowball. And what are these? Comeback mechanic is coming back. It is going to help the snowball how big the map is. The map has never been this big. It's actually insane how big the map is compared to old Smite. If you want to fight at 25 minutes, you ran down all the way from your base to their base and won the game. This can't really happen at 25 minutes, maybe at 35 or 40 minutes, but now the map is much bigger, right? And EFG is also another thing that's very important. So there's a lot of other mechanics in the map. The map design is completely different than it was in Season 9. So when you come back to 9.5, there's actually things fighting versus Snowball. So this is going to be even more perfect than they even think or even know. 9.5 is such a good thing that's going to happen to this game because without even knowing, they have added things that would have helped that patch, but without knowing. So another thing to think about now that 9.5 is coming back is the flow of the game is going to be back. And now these tier 2s that they added make sense. Now, why? Why do these first let's ask, why didn't these tier 2s make any difference to the game when we played in the PTS? It's because it adds a small spike, but either way, you're not fighting, so it doesn't matter. That spike that you have at a tier 2 doesn't matter because what are you going to do? You're going to go back to mid wave, you're going to clear it, you're going to do left mids, you're going to do your red, you're going to do another wave, and then you're going to back and get the tier 3, so that tier 2 spike didn't actually matter at all. So now...
Also, I'm making food quick, but that is something that I was talking about with the tier 2s actually matter like a little bit more because early game matters. Those small spikes actually matter at points in the game. So I think this is actually like a perfect play. The tier 3 items probably just would have made them have to add more items or something like that, which they didn't have like the resources for.
These tier 2 spikes are very important. Why? Because people are killable again. Having a tier 2 that has a crazy passive like Frostbound, when you hit 4 times, you get a slow on your next auto, are gonna matter because Gold Fury matters again because you can kill people, you can bait people to Gold Fury, and you can kill them, and you can do objectives, and the pace of the game comes back. The identity of Smite is going to be back. Smite lost his identity for 2 years, and now we're gonna have the Smite that we all came to love and play. Now blue invades are important. Now mid camps are important. Now Gold Fury contest is important. Now Pyro contest is important.
I dodged an accident.
The new objective at Fire is going to be important to contest because spikes are...
This BDK, also solo side in general, I think is going to be so important. Solo side, like blue buff invades, BDK, back camps. Also, with the back camp change that they also had in 11.6 before, also reverting 9.5, solo side is going to be heavily contested.
Are important again because timings are important.
It's supposed to be next Tuesday, Mar Majesty, if they get to it. They did not guarantee it, but it is something that they really want to get in by 11.6, which is Tuesday.
Again, because you can actually kill each other on those timings. Soul laners can solo each other. Jungler can gank solo. Jungler can gank mid. Jungler has opportunities everywhere. A jungler, you know what it feels to be a jungler? Back on your first rotation, tab, see breastplate, and say, I'm never ganking that lane again in my life. Do you know what that is? That's not even a jungle role. You just sit in duo or just get mid camps. ADC spikes are going to be crazy. Spikes matter again. The timing of the game is back. The identity of Smite is back. We're
healing
back.
changes are still the same.
We're so fucking back. And now, you know what's the beauty? Now the picks change too. The picks, because now you're thinking about, damn, early game is important, but late game is important too. I'm not sure. You think we can hold them off? Maybe I can play a Tiamat with tablet, and maybe we can slow down their pace and just not contest as many Gold Furies, and maybe we're down 6 or 7.
I don't think solo lane will be fixed in terms of like solo 1v1 potential, but I think it is easier to gank that lane. Less health makes that breastplate less valuable. So say breastplate gets you to 100 physical protections, that about mitigates 50%. So we'll say 50% of the damage that you do to a soul laner on your gank will be mitigated. Having 200 less health by level 6 makes it so that is 400 less damage you need to do, which is insane. I think solo 1v1 potential is still very low. Well, I think it's a little bit better pre-first item, but after first item, I think it's just dead again. But it opens up the opportunity that maybe Soul Eater's built in that lane. I think Jotuns will never be built in that lane again because of the cost increase. Blackthorn, Runeforged, Frostbound. Maybe Equinox gets even better. I mean, the defensive spike only happens because there's no threat in lane.
7k, but I have a TM at late game. Or on the other side of the coin, yo, let's play Izzy, Sylvanas, and look to invade and play aggressive and try to get these Gold Furies because they can't defend them. You see what I mean? Now there's variety in picks. Now there's different ways to think. Assassin supports can be back. Warrior supports can be back. Bro, mage supports, anything can be back. That's the beauty. They're bringing back variety.
That's wrong. I heard that. That is wrong. Assassin supports will still be ass. And the issue comes down to items. And their kits are just ass.
So 10.6 is the comeback mechanic, right? 10.6 is it comeback, and was it the ghost comeback, and what else? The power nerf I think is fine. I think it's the power nerf plus 9.5 that make the game feel like this. I think you remove 9.5 and then the power becomes different. You can scale it up or down. You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but I just know that 9.5 is a significant problem. Like the biggest problem there is. So you take this is the way I look at it if I'm high res. I bring the exact game I have to 9.5 in terms of health. Then I get a feeling for the game. I watch games. I watch comp players. I watch ranked. I watch casuals. I don't just look at a goddamn statistic page. I watch. I listen. And then I say, okay, I do think that people are dying. You know, there's 20. Let's just say there's 17 kills on average at 10 minutes. Okay, maybe people are dying too much, right? Maybe you tone it down just a little bit. Or, you know, you can do whatever you want. I just know 9.5 is the initial garbage thing. If I'm a better, all right, this is what I'll say. If I'm a better mid laner than this guy, then he better sit in the tower the whole goddamn game. If not, if he comes out 1 second, I'm killing him. And that's how that pressure works. Not just this guy sitting under tower and like, bro, I can't physically kill people that I'm better than. You know what I mean? That is crazy. Yeah, I think the power nerf might settle in really well with 9.5 being removed.
We'll see.
Bro, you can do anything. When look. If there's a lack of damage, you can only pick the characters that have multiple spells in high DPS. If there is an abundance of damage, then any character can be good. That is a very simple fact for any MOBA player that's ever played any MOBA in any time. If there's an abundance of damage, I can play whatever I want in any role because I do damage and I know I'm going to scale. I can play any god, anywhere, anyhow. As long as I have a reason and understanding for why I want to do my pick and my role, then it will work. I don't know if it was bad timing or not, but when Pagan sold Ven 5 times in one final set, the next patch was 9.5. I mean, not to say anything against Ven, but dude, then don't fight him or play passive or ask for help or ask for support. Ask for your support to poach over. Try to bring more resources to the fight.
It was still a little cold. I'd heat it up a bit more.
Thor double tap, Suki 1, Suki ult, Scylla ult. Had more skill expression. I'll say this. After 9.5, there was no skill expression. People that... Alright, so I'll say this. If you're a player...
I'll also say, I don't know if it's just like a mental thing, but I feel like I've been getting shit on way more after 9.5 than before. Just absolutely just shit on. Maybe it's just because I'm streaming and I don't really like try that hard. When 9.5 was live, I was on a team, so I was actually trying. But damn, I'm getting shit on all the time. Lost, it could be
weak mechanics and decision making. You will hate this patch because you will be dominated and shit on by players that are better than you. And that's okay because that is going to allow you to learn and become better. Just like anything else in life. Uller, yes, all the characters will be back.
Uller's still ass.
You literally can't play Uller until 6 slots right now.
This god is ass. Look at these base numbers.
That goes for a lot of characters, bro. I play Janice every game because I need to farm 6 items. And to accelerate the process of me farming 6 items, bored out of my goddamn skull, I pick Janice because he just does it faster. I want to be a level 2 Uller and I want to fight for prop buff. I want to be a level 4 Uller and I want to fight for Siren, knock a Siren. I want to be a level 7 Uller and I want to fight for mid camps. I want to be a level 9 Uller and invade their purple. I want to be a level 12 Uller and fight for oracles. I want to be a level 16 Uller. I do not just want to fight when I have full Bluestone, Heartseeker, Crusher, Titans, and fucking Transcendence. Nobody wants to farm 6 items. We play MOBA to kill each other. Why is Arena the most popular game mode in Smite? Because
it's not common misconception. It's not.
You're constantly killing each other with amazing third-person mechanics. That's why this game is prosperous. That is Smite identity. It's because you fight, not because you're fucking out farming.
It was the most popular in like 2017. It's not been the most played for like 8 years. It is second though.
Yes, Hu could be back. Why? Because now these minions don't have redonkulous XP.
Yeah, it's
now
still
he
second.
Can, HP. Now he can just
By
one
far.
the wave, maybe hit the archers once or twice, and then take the 1v1 brawl that he can actually fight. The game is gonna blossom again. The game is gonna blossom. Another thing too is that Smite since 9.5 hasn't made that bad of changes. They've made pretty positive changes. Like I feel really bad that they took out recipes, but I think they should think about bringing recipes back. Look. Let's make a list.
Wait, so how he resets his paint is he exits out and then boots it up again.
Things that I think they should look at. Invader's Curse needs to be looked at. Needs to be looked at. Bring back recipes. Recipes needs to come back. One of the best changes they had. I have no clue why they took out recipes. More glyphs, correct. More glyphs.
Recipes or whatever. Recipes didn't change the way the game was played any more than these shards. Well, they could bring back recipes, but they have to get rid of shards then. Actually, I do think I like recipes more than shards though. Maybe I'm on the train to bring back recipes, get rid of shards.
Which is options to scale. I think every item should have a glyph. And they better start working on it immediately. Every item should have glyph. Every single item should have glyph. I think Scorpion should be looked at.
Recipes weren't as good as the
right above Gold Fury Pit. Scorpion or
the totem camps. The totem camps were awesome.
OBJ to contest.
This is basically just BDK. There can't be another objective. There's too many objectives. If you add another one, there's too many. They should make the prot and XP buff, or prot and shield buff, prot and cooldown buff more valuable again.
Brains. You guys ready for me to break your brains in Smite? You guys ready? One thing they should look at. 100%. Okay? You ready? Obelisk is a good objective, but I'll keep a Obelisk here. Because they could do Obelisk again. I'd be down. I think it's so much fun. It's so exciting to contest map for a strong scepter instead of a random moon hitting a lane and then you get a scepter. But look, and one more thing to look at. So with 9.5, people are gonna die faster. That is correct.
There's actually value in invading the enemy's totem camp now. Before there was like a tiny bit of value because you were taking away farm from them, but that's where the value stopped. Now you're getting more farm, they're getting less farm, and you're slowing down their tikis, which is awesome.
I think minion waves have too much gold. Okay, I was about to get there, Sai. I was about to get there. So I think minion gold and XP needs to come down. And God kills need to go up.
I disagree with this. I think this can go down a tiny bit. This should not go up.
There's no way that if a mid laner rotates, assist on 2 kills should be less value than getting the mid wave. There's no way. That is motivating players to not leave their lane. It has to be worth, rotations have to be worth if executed properly.
You only need to do one of these, and this is not the one that they should touch. This is the one they should touch. Because you're speeding up the game in terms of kills and stuff, but you're slowing down the game with a little bit of gold and XP decrease.
So I'm gonna say this, right? But what if you do this?
Also,
right?
If you do this, it makes jungle camps stronger because there's more gold and XP in the jungle. Because minions and waves are worth less.
These two things, if you do this, what happens? Snowball hits harder, right? Because not only when you kill someone, you get now in this new meta, you're gonna get more gold and more XP, but you're gonna get more map, right? Because when you kill them, what are you gonna do? You're gonna farm, right? So check this. This is how you counter this. Now this is the big variable secret. When you do this, you then lower spawn timers. And that will counter the snowball. Because
this doesn't really counter snowball. If you're dying so often that you're getting off the map, that's less time for them to kill you. It's like it potentially can, but it can also just make it worse. It can make the snowball worse. More farm for the enemy because they're farming me. It doesn't do much. I think this is like the one point that I've actually disagreed with so far. Lowering spawn timers. The only thing lowering spawn timers does is it extends the game because it's harder to end the game because the enemy is just spawning faster and you have less time to end the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying They can, or like they shouldn't do this. They can't do this. I'm just saying lowering spawn timers does not decrease snowball.
Because if you get the kill and kill him, but then you have to reset because he's coming back quick to contest the camp, then it makes a difference. But if you're guaranteed to kill him and then get...
So he's speaking on like you get a kill and then they come back and they contest the camp. Rarely is a second going to matter because you're not decreasing the spawn timers by 5 seconds. You're decreasing it by maybe a second or two. If it's really that close, a lot of times you're not going to risk it, or you're just going to risk it anyway.
All of the map, then it doesn't matter. Then the snowball becomes very
you
aggressive.
Talk shit.
And
They'll
not
probably
only
just
that,
laugh.
what does decreasing spawn timers do? It increases action. It
That part's
increases
true.
action. You get it? Because you know that you can take a fight, and maybe if you die, yeah, I might die and give them gold and XP, but I know that I can be back on the map right away. Bro, this would fix it. I've literally told them. I've said these things, bro. I don't want to like harp on it, but I just think to myself, where would Smite be if 9.5 never happens? I think it would have been really prosperous. I think every pro player that played after season 9 got the fucking short end of the stick on those metas that they played, which were 3 to 4 kills. I don't know how anyone watched that. For 2 years straight, I watched SPL and ordered Chipotle and fell asleep every game. I could not watch it. There was not enough action to keep me watching. I could not watch these fucking guys hit waves.
2 kills at 9 minutes is still crazy. 1 at 18 is insane, but 2 at 9 is still really low. This is still way too low. This one's a little bit more action. Yeah, I mean, 5 kills at 7 minutes is a solid amount of action. 6 kills at 9, 6 kills at 10. This is fine. So far, 1 of 3 games are considered like good early game viewer experiences. And then another one that's just not good. 3 kills at 13, 3 at 15. 1 of 4 world championship games.
They were amazing, talented players that got dog shit meta to play in. So, do you guys understand this part? If minion gold and XP goes down, God kills golds and XP go
I can't believe
up,
I actually gained them more.
It's gonna make for you to be more aggressive and not far. Like, let's say there's a wave, right? My brain, mathematically, I'm a complete logic person. I would never fight in this meta over a wave. Never. Because 1, I'm never gonna kill him. 2, the wave is worth more. So why would I ever fight? It's literally counterproductive. It's literally so stupid to fight. No, I think Totem is fine. It's an objective for solo and objective for mid. I think they should add more objectives so Totem is not the only thing they're thinking about. I think Totem is high value. I think it's an objective on solo. I think they should add Scorpion. The spawn timers is what needs to be looked at, bro. The spawn time needs to be looked at. The way it scales per level to seconds that you're dead needs to be looked at. Hi-Rez needs to look at this. You can bring Draugr back easily. You can bring Draugr back. What they should do is that they should re-add the 2 minions on proc camp, leave the Naga Siren, and then add Draugr at 15-minute spawn. And then now you have Draugr, Totem, Siren, mid camps, Scorpion above.
Wait, what the fuck is Siren? Siren is the oracles?
You have the new Fire Giant, the new Bull Demon, Totem, other Siren on solo, and CD camp. And then on top of that, you need to kill each other. And then you need to kill each other because killing is what matters. Look, and this is all that matters.
Yeah, you're trolling.
If there's more things to fight over, then there's more fighting. Because what happens is, you know what they say? You know what?
I mean, Andy's got a lot of good points, though, in the video. There's a couple he misses on, which is more like preference. I don't think they need to like force fighting that much. I think the only reason fighting didn't happen that much was because it's just not valuable and it's too hard to do. Guys, 12-hour stream Tuesday if they get 11.6 or if they get the 9.5 revert in 11.6. I'm saying it right now. 12 hours.
You know you're not going to
12 hours on Tuesday. If I don't stream for 12 hours, I'll gift 25 subs to my chat.
I told them this formula. I said, look at this formula, please. Look at this. I told them to look at this. They said, well, wouldn't that make them want to fight less? And I said, yeah, probably, right? Because you're scared of snowball. But then this would counter that. You got to stop thinking. You got to think about fixing the problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good point. I'm of the opinion that Invader's Curse is horrible. Recipes, I'm not that big on. If you're adding recipes back, just get rid of shards. More glyphs, I think, is rather useless. I don't think it's worth the time or effort currently. If Smite 1 was still going on, it's worth it, but it's not worth it. There doesn't need to be more objectives. There's plenty of objectives on the map. Spawn timers are fine, but it's not going to do exactly what he says, where it's not going to reduce snowball. It's going to increase time length, and it's also going to 50-50 increase snowball or decrease it. Like, it's not guaranteed either way. And then you can't do both of these. You should just do one of them. And I'm of the opinion that there's too much gold in waves, and there's a good amount of gold in god kills. So there's just too much in the golden XP. And then I also think Sentinels and Embrace, Benevolence, War Flag should all be nerfed. Thebes should be nerfed, and Prophetic should be nerfed.
Not just Band-Aid fixing that shit. No, I think Gold Fury is fine to be... Gold Fury should be available at minute 1. If you have a comp that can solo Gold Fury at minute 1, then go for it. High risk, high reward. And what would that comp be like? Sylvanas, Raw, Scotty can tank Bastet with Cat. Double Cat into heals. No, the map is fine where it's at. It doesn't need to be bigger. I mean, I would love for someone in high res to reach out and I can just give them these ideas. It's literally just facts. Bro, the thing is that, look, Dota was known for being one of the late game MOBAs. There's buyback, the base, high ground. There's a lot of things that incorporated into that. So I think EFG should spawn around 25 minutes, and I think you should get more gold for kills, meaning more items faster, leaving us around an average game time of 25-27 minutes. That's what Smite should be.
601, almost 800, 200 more health, 17 protections and 31 protections. 32 and 30, or 23 and 32, which goes up to 26 when you load in and 34 when you load in. That is insane. I do think it was really interesting, the dynamic in builds of like, do I want to finish my boots to get this quick spike, or do I want to greed my devs, greed my book, greed my breastplate, greed my... Junglers didn't really do it because movement speed matters way too much to them. Supports, maybe they want to greed their Thebes, which is another role that doesn't really do it too much because they wanted the movement speed to get around the map. But I think that was just an interesting dynamic between all the 3 laning phase roles. I also think they should, if they brought back boots, they should nerf boots. Boots are just way too strong. But if you kick like Warrior Tabby down to 30, Ninja Tabby down to like 15, tank boots shouldn't have any power, and probably shouldn't even have as many protections as it did. Or make it slightly less but ramped up a little bit quicker, or just a little bit of base protections and then none ramping up, because there's a weird dynamic trying to balance it between, oh, you take that first amount of CC and then you take a ton of damage. Talarian Traveler's boots should have like 5, but it's just insane. 40 power at 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Now you get brawlers way later. Are DRs gonna fix all this? I mean, there's more DR in the game than there was during 9.5, so I don't think it's gonna change too much. I think it's still going to be kind of hard if you don't layer your CC correctly for tanks to live. Like, laning phase was so much more interesting. If I remember correctly, you didn't hit 2 off this? But you did hit 2 off that. Wait, they hit 2 also. How did they hit 2? I don't remember this. Yeah, I agree with the tier 2 changes. I think the tier 2 changes actually matter more now.